What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you sort of a special video. Yeah, you've noticed I don't have my ring light on, but I figured it would be easier for this video. It's going to be more of a random video, kind of like I did in a way, you know, talking about me. But this time it's kind of about, as you see in there, Winnie, my cat. Yeah, you'll see her on and off. This video is not only kind of a special video, but it's kind of also an announcement. See, there she is, an announcement video in a way. And pardon all this stuff here happening right now. You'll get this a lot. This will show you some things to expect. But we'll just put it this way. What I'm about to say, try not to take it to heart. I absolutely adore her. Right? And we both do. And we wouldn't think lightly of doing it. At least I wouldn't. But lately, she's 13 years old. Which, again, is pretty old. Okay, I mean, yeah, cats have lived longer, but it's pretty old. But in a lot of ways, she's, you know, very, very healthy. Right? She is playful. Well, doesn't run around like a lot, right? But she's playful. She loves to eat. And loves to love bite. Which, that's what she did right at this point, playing with my hand. But she's been having, this is also about to have some TMI in it. She's been having some accidents outside the litter box. Ow. Gentle. See, again, I know I'm not editing this out. You're gonna see everything. I will try to be more professional, you know, in other videos, even, you know, with her there. And you're like, even with her there? What does that mean, Jazz? Well, as I said, she was having some accidents outside the litter box. And my aunt, again, don't sue us, but it's been going on so long that my aunt set an appointment to put her down. Because it was pretty serious at that point. And my aunt, like, loves her dearly, but she was losing her control. At least that's what my aunt thought. And she let me know, and I decided this week to let her stay in my room the last week. And surprisingly, that whole time, no accidents whatsoever. So my aunt even said to me earlier, well, you know what, maybe I was premature, but the next time she has an accident, that's it. Right? Because she already was preparing herself mentally for it. Giving you all that, you know, talk now. But to let you know, for both of us, the thought was a heavy heart. But the vets even recommended it. Wasn't just my aunt's first thought, oh, I want to put her down. No, she asked the vet what's going on. We tried other cat food, right? And the vet said, I think it would be better just at this point to put her down, right? But when my aunt realized that it seemed like her behavior was changing, once I started, now you're wondering why didn't this, yes, an ASD trait of mine is that I have my ways, right? I'm stuck in my routine, and I never had her, I gave her attention, I never neglected her, don't get me wrong, and I took care of her needs as best as I could, and when I remembered, she always let me know, but she was a very lovey, touchy-feely cat. Like, I wanted the most fluffy cat, I got the most affectionate one, don't I, old girl? So I wasn't comfortable having her in my room because she was, like, I didn't either have the heart or really believe my aunt when she said, all you have to do is just just lead her away, push her off you, and she'll, like, you don't have to feel uncomfortable with her there. Show her who is in charge, right? And I don't know, either I didn't have the heart because she's such a loving cat, or I really, again, as I said, didn't believe it. This week showed me my aunt was right, which 90% of the time she is. But when I thought it was her last week, I wanted to make it special. Like, she never was allowed in my room for a long time. So, obviously, I don't sleep with her. I can't redirect her in my sleep, and she gets, again, really lovey. I don't think I'd get any sleep, but usually I'd have her in 4 or 5 hours a day. And that has seemed to make a difference with her. Like, she's happier than we've ever seen her. Her actions literally completely stopped, at least as of now. And my aunt said, well, if only you've done this earlier, which, again, I feel guilty. But at that time, I couldn't help it. I wasn't ready. Like, maturely ready. But the thought that I'm the one keeping her alive is a nice feeling in a way. Now, like, we had an amazing week. I mean, I had my ups and downs. I haven't been feeling good in some ways too, but having Winnie in my room not only is benefiting her, but it's benefiting me as well. For the most part, this week, I've stayed up the whole day, which I have trouble doing. I'm especially when I'm in pain, I'm a sleeper, right? That's my coping mechanism, right? Is sleep. But having her in my room, I really can't do that because the spot on the bed. Now you could ask Jazz, why not listen to your aunt and keep redirecting her? But she's not doing anything wrong when she's laying right there beside me, right? And as long as she's not in my lap or on me, I want to keep her as happy as possible as well as myself. And that is a good compromise, letting her lay right next to me but not on me, right? And I keep redirecting and praising her when she does that, right? If I pushed her away further, she probably would be like, I want both of us to be, compensated for in a way. But as I said, of course I'll admit it, some ways it was hard on my routine to a way, but I'll just have to learn to get into a routine, with her, right? Because, like, I was talking to the N-Man64 about it too, because we occasionally talk as being partners, right? And he said, well, what works for both of you? She said, you're helping her, and that's a really good thing, right? Said I just have to learn to kind of put my needs along with hers as well, because if I start neglecting my needs, then my aunt will probably want her just to be put down because I'm sacrificing everything for her. Like, it'd be a little too over, right? So I have to kind of learn to balance, like how I'm doing a video here with her right now. This is my way to say that you might hear more of her from now on when I record videos, because I could edit. Obviously you wouldn't notice of me editing just fine with her there, but with her being in the room most of the day and I have to do YouTube, she's gonna have to be there. So just saying, you might get cameos and there might be a little bit more mistakes, but I'll try to edit out the worst of them. And I figured you might like seeing cats, kitties. And I also will announce if she ever is, like, you will know. But I'm hoping with what we're doing, she'll be able to live at least a couple more years. Yep, and now she's trying to sneak over now, but I'm recording, so I don't care at this point as long as I'm after she's done. Anyway, as I said, I've been playing a bit of Stardew Valley with her. Yes, and she's trying to speak to you guys. But I made a file just for the two of us. But I know cats don't understand games, and I know she doesn't, understand again or care, but she likes being with me, right? And games are my comfort. So I'm using that as saying, okay, I can only play this file when she's there, and once she's gone, I'll play it in her memory a little bit, right? But until she is gone, this is only a Winnie and I game file. Once she's gone for the night, that game has to be put away. So that'll make me look forward to having her in there a little more, because I enjoy playing it alongside her. And I figured, I know, guys, this isn't professional doing it here with my cat and talking around, like that. But it's something that I'd rather, and I love YouTube, guys, right? But I would rather her happiness and be here and neglect YouTube for a while, right? Than anything, if I had to make a choice. That's what it is there. But if you guys can be okay with her occasionally showing up or in my videos, then that's alright. You won't notice it as much in my recorded videos, maybe a little bit of purring, but when I'm recording things like the Pokemon Crimson Fury reviews, yes guys, that's gonna come, right? I'm gonna try to have to read and record them, and you could argue, well, Jazz, you have night right. She said she doesn't go, yes, I usually let her out of my room about 6 between 6 and 8. And by that time, mentally, I am pretty drained. But, and some nights are good, right? In that case, that's when I record, but I want to get used to the fact that I might have to record a bit when she's in here with me. And I thought this would be a cute little video, you know, to kind of reintroduce her in a way. You've heard her in, was it the Mystery Dungeon review or the Gates to Infinity review? I did a cameo from, yeah, it was a couple of years ago, but she'll be a little more prominent in these other videos. Yeah, so girl, like, what I completely don't understand about her is that for 13 years of her life, I semi-neglected her. Again, semi-neglected her. I adored her. When she was there, I'd give her attention. I'd go in and visit her, right? But she never again was allowed in my room. And she kept wanting to go into my room, right? Like, I have no right to be her chosen person at all. But yet, she's chose me and she's stuck with me. Even if it took 13 years to get her own way, she acts like that has never happened. Like, again, I mean, how do I put it? No normal person would accept that type of behavior that I had. If I neglected them for 13 years and suddenly decided to give them light of day or a center, you know, of attention, no sane person would be, oh, okay, you know, like, you think they would be a little bitter. But her? No. She's like, she quickly went from, you know, ooh, it's my new normal now, I like this. But based on Cat's behaviors, she loves my aunt too, which is again why it was a bit hard for my aunt when she was considering it, right? But my aunt, she's the one who deserves that honor, right? To be chosen by Winnie. Yet, from the get-go, Winnie, I was apparently her person, right? Because when you think about it, I made the difference with her accidents. Her being in there with me. And it could be because she was watched, but my aunt doesn't think so. She thinks that I made her so happy in this week, and she looked forward to our rituals so much that she didn't have the need to have those type of accidents. Right? It feels good knowing that I actually made a difference to her. And the fact that she is somehow making a difference with me, too. Because when you think about it, I had to change my whole routine for her. And in some ways there's some bad to it, right? Like, it's going to be hard, for me at least, to get back into the groove where I'm balancing everything. Like, right now, for the last few days, I've been playing Stardew Valley with her. Because that was the one thing that comforted me with her being in there, too. Right? So I have to kind of learn to balance everything, like going back for walks. I've been on and off okay with that. Reading is a bit harder with her, because me holding something in my hand, God forbid, right? I've been able, as I said, to play PC games relatively okay, but sometimes she'll get interested too and try to rub against it. There's one point she even pulled it with her front and back paw and almost threw it off the table. But those type of incidents are very rare, right? But for the most part, she'll go and she'll kind of curl up, right, in her spot, and I can play the game, right? Or, as I said, editing is relatively okay too, because I edit on my computer, so that's the same as playing the game in a way. So I'm learning, or also the type texting, you know, that is relatively hard to do with her there. Because just like a lot of cats, they're curious, and the computer at least, well, how do I put it? It's easier to maneuver a computer keyboard type, you know, or text, I meant. Like, imagine me, like, holding a small thing, which is already hard enough, and then the cat goes over and tries to push it away. That's kind of how it's like with her a little bit. For now, anyway. Like, I apologize endlessly to the Endman 64 because at this point, it isn't just, oh, I want to spend more time with my cat because it's a nice thing to do. Yes, that too, I do love her. But technically, I'm her lifeline, in a way, according to my aunt. So, I have to kind of do what works for everyone, right? Like, like, for example, on our anniversary, I told my aunt, and she accepted that too, that on that day, I'll take Winnie for a couple hours for I could rest up for that night, because I want to be there for him on our day, right? And that's still a priority. But because when you think about it, I'm her lifeline in a way, and once I get into a proper routine and get used to doing things with her, she's really helped me a lot, and she would have really helped me a lot, because she takes away my access to sleep, nap all day, in a way. She makes me do other things. Like, she makes me, strategize, think, well, what works? Like, what can I do to make myself and her more comfortable, which, again, helps me, instead of panic, logically think. So, it's amazing how something at first that you're more doing, out of necessity. Like, I thought it was her last week, so I did it for her, and it was really hard at first. Became something that is still a little difficult, but I know how important it is that I do it. And it's putting someone else's needs before my own, which again is something I struggle with too, to a degree. Right, there's times where I definitely say, okay, right now it's about that person, but it takes something very extreme for that to happen, right? For me to think of something someone before myself, even if that is an animal or my partner, right? So far, these two are the only people or like living things that I think about before myself at times, right? Anyone else, yeah, it's about me in a way, or about my comfort, right? Yeah, and that's another example. I'm putting her comfort before mine, which again you could argue that isn't very healthy in a way, and I'm going to learn to balance both of our comforts and our needs. But right now, well, her comfort, more her livelihood than comfort, but I'm putting my discomfort aside for that, which takes something very special to do with how I handle pain and discomfort. I usually like to hide away. With her, I can't. I mean, to a degree I can, but she's there, right? And I'm just learning to accept that. Like, sometimes, rarely, I forget she's there. Well, okay, that sounds silly, but I mean, I do. Like, I'm getting used to her to a point that sometimes I actually forget she's right there when I'm doing something. I would if she wasn't as close to me, right? But I would completely if she wasn't as close to me, but which again is a good thing. She's happy just being in my presence, which again is quite strange, but she is. That's the point of that. Like, strange to say that so far this week onward, it's something that sort of changed my life. Made me to put someone else's needs before mine, to help me learn to manage my anxiety a little bit for her. Kind of gives more meaning to things when I do it. It feels a little more special, in a way. So there's a lot of things that guys, it's not easy, right? Especially, like, I know more than anyone, but if people are struggling like I was, or like I am that way, and some, like, with their animals, like that, just think that if they're doing that, they probably chose you, right? and they're happiest, they would be the happiest with you. Now again, I'm not saying to throw your whole life away for it. I'm still learning the balance. For me, I'm in more of a dire situation with Winnie while she's at her age and doing that, what she was doing. But if you have a younger cat, right, that loves you, maybe it would make a big difference if you set time around and let them be with you. Now, most people do, right? Most people who have cats and that do that. But if you're a person, let's say, with special needs that struggles with these things, right, you can find ways to learn to deal with those animals. Okay, again, don't take that word the wrong way. If you have sensory issues, but your cat absolutely adores you, right, and is just happy being with you, let them be with you and work with them to accept your boundaries while still, you know, allowing them to enjoy the company of your company, right? It's something I wish I had learned and believed my aunt when she said that that is possible, because if I had, then maybe we wouldn't have had these issues in the first place. And now every single day and night is a kind of a nightmare in a way. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, as my aunt said, the next time she has an accident, that is it, right? So I have to every night worry if tomorrow, okay, she would be doing it on that day, right? She would make an appointment maybe the next day or something, but I'd have to wonder, well, is tomorrow going to be the day, right? Is tonight going to be our last night? Or our last couple of nights, right? It's always, imagine always worrying something is coming, right? That's one negative, because I have grown to love her more and accept her, her presence, but knowing that any day or any time an accident could happen still. And I know it will someday. She's 13 years old, right? Guys, I have regrets, right, for not embracing this sooner, right? Then I would have had guaranteed a few years with her. So guys, if you have animals that are lovey, and it can be understandable that maybe you do want your space, right? And you should be able to have your space to a degree. Still make time for them, right? When you're not working or sick, put the time to let them just be with you and accept them for who they are with the boundaries, as I said. It would mean the world to them, and they would thank you for it, even if it's in the weirdest ways possible. So anyway, guys, I know this was a bit long-ranted, right? But I wanted to kind of reintroduce her to you because some of my videos will probably include her in the maybe the word in the background is probably a bad way to say it. She'll probably be all over the video, but I will try to edit out the worst of the incidents, right? But a little bit of Winnie-isms is what I'm going to be calling it. Never hurts anyone, and she likes being part of my world, so I want her to be part of this. So anyway, guys, if you do enjoy this new edition, give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe and help this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys on my next video.